As things start to warm up, you may feel tempted to get out on the water and enjoy the natural lakes and rivers Arkansas has to offer. But before you hit the water, there are some things you need to do to stay safe. In today's Outdoor Report, Wake Up Central Skot Covert shares what we know about boating accidents in 2023 and how you can help make a change to an Arkansas ecosystem.
All right, it's Saturday, which means it's time for another edition of the Outdoor Report. Look, duck season ended a couple of weeks ago.
What are we going to talk about now, Scott?
Well, it's the only thing I want to talk about. This is no longer the Outdoor Report, it's just the Duck Report. You know, one thing that I've learned is duck season's that 60 days, but the actual work that makes Arkansas so special continues the other 9 months of the year. Now's the time to get engaged. We've got a bit of an issue on our hands. You guys are trying to tackle it. But now is the time to really engage with what the future of some of our cherished green tree reservoirs looks like. Tell us about an upcoming event.
Yeah, we've got some meetings today, Scott. One just hours away in Pocahontas at the junior high gymnasium from 9 to 11. But one a little later in the day, may be more conducive for folks watching right now to get there. It's also in Northeast Arkansas. It's in Jonesboro at Nettleton High School, 2 to 4 p.m. in the cafeteria at Nettleton High.
And we're talking about specifically what the future looks like on things like Dave Donaldson, Biamita.
Right, and we're going to be talking very, very focused in on Dave Donaldson, Black River, WMA at these meetings today. But it's not just about Dave Donaldson, Black River. You mentioned green tree reservoirs. For those who don't know what that is a man-made system, basically an artificially flooded, impounded bottomland hardwood forest. They've been around for decades. But over the last 10, 15, 20 years, maybe even a little farther back, we have noticed that this artificial flooding of these bottomland hardwoods on these game and fish areas, which are, look, they're great for ducks. They provide great duck habitat, and they are world famous for duck hunting. But we can't continue to flood them in the same way we have for decades and decades and decades because our trees are dying.
And once they're gone, they're
gone. Yeah, I mean, we're like, Henry Gray Hurricane Lake WMA is a great example of what can happen. Some of the healthiest forest stand assessments we had 20 years ago. Fast forward to 2015, 2016, 2017, and we start almost overnight seeing, we've got several thousand acres of red oaks, which are very important, not just to ducks, but a lot of other critters. They're gone, man. They're dead. We are reforesting that, but that's going to take decades, and we don't want to have to do that. I mean, and so really what we're talking about is balancing waterfowl habitat and hunting opportunity, still having that, but while trying to get closer to a more natural process of like what Mother Nature would do. Yeah, the science has caught up with the management, essentially.
And naturally, this means some less predictability in terms of what hunters can experience. And maybe there's some questions about what that looks like. Now's the time to come. One, voice the concerns, but two, understand the science more so from your experts.
Exactly. These meetings are going to be set up. Austin Booth, our director, is going to make a very short presentation, just kind of, frame the issue. 45 minutes or more of question and answer. I'm going to be the guy with the mic walking around in the crowd. If you want to complain or comment or question, anything you've got, the floor is open. And then, even beyond that, Scott, what I think the greatest value, we're going to have hopefully up to an hour, small breakout groups with our staff, other experts, so you can come and just ask specific questions and kind of try to wrap your brain around exactly what we're doing here.
It's a big topic. It's one that a lot of folks are very passionate about.
Absolutely.
So I'm really happy you guys are being so transparent and really welcoming folks to come in and voice their concerns. All right, so it's felt a little bit like spring lately.
Yeah.
It's fall spring. It's not real spring, but it's got me having the itch to get out on the waterways. And we always hear every year, tragically, some accidents. What's the past look like?
It is a good time to talk about that because we will be getting, I know bass tournaments are already cranking up their seasons, and we just got our boating accident report for 2023 earlier this week. And good news and bad news. The good news is fatalities are the lowest they've been in a number of years.
Great news.
But we still had 9, which is not good news. And the overall number of accidents roughly the same as it was last year. I think we had 61 reportable accidents, and there's a threshold for property damage or injury that makes it a reportable accident. 60 last year, so almost exactly the same. And here's the really kind of disheartening part of that. Of those 9 fatalities that we had, 6 were drownings. 2 were related to trauma. 1 was a pre-existing medical condition that was exacerbated. Not a single one of the fatalities was wearing a life jacket. And only 35% of all the 150 plus people that were involved in the accidents were wearing a life jacket.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a really sobering number. That's really unfortunate.
It is. It is the #1 piece of equipment, just like your seatbelt in your car. Greatest thing you can do is put on a life jacket when you get on the water.
Yet every year, I feel like we hear these stories.
Absolutely.
Got to get that number down. All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's visit with you guys for another edition of the Outdoor Report next Saturday. Join us back here.